There is a moment that almost everyone fears, but very few people truly understand. It is not just the embarrassment itself, it is the loss of control that comes with it. Someone says something about you in front of others, and suddenly you feel exposed, small, and unprepared. But what if that moment was not something to fear at all? What if it was actually an opportunity to reveal something powerful about yourself? Most people think public humiliation is about what was said. It is not. It is about how you respond under pressure. That single moment becomes a stage, and whether you realize it or not, everyone is watching to see what kind of person you are when things don't go your way. Here is the truth most people avoid: people are not just listening to the words being said, they are studying reactions. The person who embarrassed you is not the only one being judged. You are too. And in many cases, people forget the insult quickly, but they remember exactly how you handled it. This is where everything changes. Instead of seeing public embarrassment as an attack, start seeing it as a test of composure. Because composure is rare. Anyone can stay confident when things are going well. Very few people can remain steady when they are put on the spot. And that is exactly why it stands out. The first shift you need to make is internal. Before you say anything, before you react in any visible way, you need to control what is happening inside you. That rush of heat, that urge to defend yourself immediately, that pressure to say something back, that is where most people lose. Not in the words, but in the emotion. When you master that inner reaction, everything else becomes easier. Think about this: have you ever seen someone get embarrassed, but instead of panicking, they stayed calm and almost amused? The energy in the room changes instantly. The attention shifts. Suddenly, the person who tried to embarrass them starts to look uncomfortable instead. That is not an accident. That is control. One of the most underrated tools in moments like this is detachment. Not pretending you don't care, but genuinely stepping back mentally from what just happened. When you detach, you stop taking the comment personally and start seeing it objectively. You notice the tone, the timing, the intention behind it. And when you see it clearly, you realize something important: not every comment deserves your energy. This is where maturity shows. You do not have to respond to everything. In fact, sometimes the strongest response is choosing not to engage at all. Silence, when used intentionally, is not weakness. It is a signal that you are not easily pulled into unnecessary drama. But when you do choose to respond, your goal is not to win an argument. Your goal is to maintain your position. That means staying grounded, speaking clearly, and not allowing your emotions to take over your message. A simple, calm response can carry more weight than a loud, emotional one. Something direct, something steady, something that shows you are aware of what just happened but not shaken by it. For example, instead of reacting defensively, you might acknowledge it lightly and move forward. Or you might calmly question the intention behind the comment. Not aggressively, but with clarity. That alone forces the other person to either explain themselves or retreat. And here is something even deeper that most people miss: the way you handle one moment teaches people how to treat you in the future. If you allow disrespect without addressing it, even calmly, you are setting a pattern. If you react with anger every time, you are also setting a pattern. But if you respond with calm confidence, you create a boundary without needing to raise your voice. Over time, people adjust. They become more careful. Not because they fear you, but because they respect the way you carry yourself. Another important layer to this is self-respect. If you rely on others to validate you in that moment, you will always feel shaken. But when you are grounded in who you are, an embarrassing comment does not define you. It becomes just that, a comment. That level of self-assurance cannot be faked in the moment. It is built over time. It comes from knowing your worth, your values, and not letting temporary situations override that. And finally, understand this: not every situation needs a perfect response. You do not need to have the best comeback every time. That idea alone puts unnecessary pressure on you. What matters more is how you carry yourself overall. Your posture, your tone, your calmness, these speak louder than any clever line ever could. So the next time you find yourself in that situation, do not rush. Do not panic. Take a moment. Breathe. Observe. Then choose your response carefully, or choose not to respond at all. Because in that moment, you are not just reacting. You are showing everyone exactly who you are when it matters most. And that is something people never forget.